There is one thing I'm actually unclear on, and that's how the Sumerian or the Anunnaki's writing, which is what you can see on the screen at the moment, how that ended up changing to the hieroglyphics in Egypt. Now, there was a huge difference in time, we're talking tens of thousands of years. So did the Anunnaki perfect their writing into the hieroglyphics, or was it a faction that split off from the Anunnaki that started to create their own language separate? Now, there is the story of Babel, the Tower of Babel, but that, I believe, came a lot later, when humans, or Homo sapiens travelled a lot further around the globe. So I'm unsure on that. If anyone's got any answers to why the Anunnaki's writing changed over tens of thousands of years, unless that's natural. I'm just going to show you why you can't trust mainstream. So they're saying that Khufu's pyramid was built in 20 years. Now, that's by pulling it up like that. But there was over 2.3 million stones, which means you have to have placed one every 2.5 minutes, which is pretty darn impressive. But that's not including, over the 20 years, that the Nile floods up to the pyramid, or did back then anyway. So they would have had to have stopped, and that means they're also working through the night as well, just to get the 2.5 minutes. So straight away that blows them out of the water. Now, the problem with doing it this way is the quarry was actually less than a mile away. So you would have had to have people literally right behind this lot, right here, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, for a mile long. But that wouldn't have worked. You would have had to have zigzagged the slopes to get it to even close to that, because obviously it was a mile. So just carrying on as to why the mainstream lied to us. So if I can just read you from an excellent book. There are some marks on a few stones that appear to be saw marks, so the conclusion is that the copper saws created these marks. However, the amount of copper saws required to cut 2.3 million stone blocks would be a huge amount. It would be in the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. Yet there was only a mere handful found, which might suggest that saws were used, but not used for the whole process. The saws didn't have teeth like modern saws. Instead, it suggested that it was sand that was used with the copper to rub against the stone to cut it. That's not going to happen with cutting limestone, 2.3 million blocks in 20 years. You would have needed a humongous workforce, plus the amount of logs you would have needed to have rolled it's just totally impossible. So there's people out there that say that the pyramids match or point to Orion because of the shape of the two pyramids plus the smaller one slightly off center of them. Now they say that because there's these shafts that come out of the pyramid and they point up to the sky, but people have reversed the dating back to make it fit with where Orion was. So in other words, now they wouldn't be pointing at Orion, but 2,500 years ago it would be. So they're saying, that's another reason why it's real, or 10,000 years. The problem with all of that is, I'm not saying that they're not anything to do with Orion, but National Geographic did a video and they put a camera that goes up there on a remote vehicle, and then they found that it doesn't actually go there, it turns and it goes up that way. So, and same with that. So that kind of negates the shaft. So we're up to what is a pyramid made for if it's not a tomb. I believe pyramids do different things, and this is a great pyramid we're looking at here. And if you remember the video I did on Tesla, which said about the free wireless power that he created, and then you think that the Great Pyramid is smack bang on a ley line, which the energy of the earth creates a power that goes upwards. The answer is, I'm just using someone's book here, is the pyramid, or the Great Pyramid, is a power plant. Now there's so much documentation out there as to why. I can't actually go into all of that within a minute, but basically it creates a power that's sent out over a vast distance, and it's picked up using these. Now obviously we're unsure exactly what the power's used for. Did they just use it for simple lights, or did they use it for huge devices that they took back with them when they